quickly before we put in those background images, we also should make some entries here for those other items. Now, as we talked about earlier, there's a little bit of a margin between some of these items, so masthead actually has a little margin on the bottom, so you can just add that here. Margin bottom was 5 pixels. Now it's the same with top content, so in here you don't need to make a whole new entry, it's exactly the same. So top content, and we can do the same thing with main content. And footer is also 960 pixels wide, and we can have a little margin on the bottom. That's okay. Oops, footer. Okay, save that. Now let's jump over to base.css. Okay, in here, let's get those background gradients going. So we'll make a new entry for top content. Now I'm just going to copy and paste from a site we've already made. Oops. Let's just jump over. I'll take it from this file here from another site and come back over here. There we go. Alright, so it's not exactly right. Fix this. Top content.jpg, and it does have a repeat in this case because we need to stretch it, so that means repeat y. Alright, now this is going to be very similar for main content. Actually, let's change these backgrounds too. It really should be black, not white. It would look funny if the image didn't show up. Now for main content too, we need to stretch, and inside main content we'll make something. We'll call it columns. Now we're not going to put that in there just yet, but we can have the image there ready to go for when we do. So oops. Now in this case there is no repeat for this one. And we can just left it. Oops. Top left, sorry. Okay, so there you go. You've got your background images ready. Other than that, there's not too much else to do until you have content ready to put into the site. So basically, you've now taken a site from a flat image into something that's ready for production almost. All we need is content to put into it. So that's it for right now. I mean, basically this is the sum of a programmer's job here, to assemble this site to this level so that the people that are going to do the content and work with the images have a functional site they can use. So that's it. One more thing I just about forgot is that background image that we've got. We want to put that in our body now. In this case, usually we'd stretch it out a little bit, but we won't worry about that too much. So if you hide the site and your original layer, we're down to just black with the edges. Let's hide those guides so you guys can see it. So we don't need to save this entire thing. We could just save it up to, maybe this high, and then the rest should be just black. So let's crop it. And you've got pretty much everything in there. You don't need to worry about missing an edge. Let's save that. Now if it's just the BG for the entire thing, whoops, let's make sure that's a JPEG. You can just call it BG. Save, done. Okay, so then jump over to CSS, just make an entry like the other ones, but for your body. So body would have a center image with the background of this. I'll quickly go over there and show you. Okay, so to set the body background, let's just copy that. Since the body is kind of the top level thing, let's put it up at the top. Alright, body, background black, images, like so. There's no repeat. And make sure it's top and center. That way it'll float right behind our canvas and look good. There's one more thing here, guys. As I was going to test that, I realized I made one mistake, and I want to show you what that was. Over here where I was stretching images, it wasn't repeat Y. That makes things bigger from top to bottom. Repeat X makes them wider from side to side, so I changed that from repeat Y to repeat X. And it's always good to test your work, make sure that you didn't make any mistakes like that. So that's it for that. Just show you what it looks like, and you guys can check out the code anytime you want. So if you come over and take a look at it when it's actually in a web browser, you can see it's basically a functional site. We need to put a navigation bar in there. You know, this top content area is ready for stuff. We've got this one fading out, ready for columns. That's it really. You've got a working site, and yeah, that's it for this tutorial.